I am not proud of the woman I came during my addiction, but I'm no longer going to hide it or feel ashamed about it. So here we go. You better buckle up and grab a tissue. Um, Now, I had already been an alcoholic before and kind of got out of that, but my addiction did not get really bad until after I found out my brother had cancer. It was like a replay with my mom, and that was something I had never really healed about or really even felt comfortable expressing the emotions tied to that. So when my brother got diagnosed, it was like the same pain all over again. I dropped out of college so that I could take him back and forth to his chemo appointments, and my ex and I were selling drugs for him. I was pregnant, and after I gave birth to my son, it got bad. I started shooting up with him and doing the drugs with him. I remember robbing him of his drugs, and when he became terminal, went to the hospital, I didn't even go see him. I became the worst sister, mother, daughter. He died on July 4th, 2012 during the Grand Finale fireworks. I remember wishing it was me because always felt like I didn't deserve to live. That I was just a crazy, fucked up person with the way I thought, the way I acted. I was always a heathen growing up. I always felt like I was a failure, never made the right choices. And I remember just being so angry. I couldn't handle that anger and the sadness I felt, even while watching him struggle. I mean, my brother was a strong guy. He was muscle toned. He worked out. He beat people up left and right because they dated me without asking him for permission or whatever. Like, he was just a really, really good big brother. And I took advantage of it. He's in the hospital. Before he died, he told my cousin Denise to watch out for me because he felt responsible. He felt responsible because I was an addict and the person I became. That it wasn't his fault. It was nobody's fault. Nobody made me. Nobody did anything for me to choose that path. I ended up robbing my parents blind, like thousands and thousands of dollars. And they kicked me out and called the cops, and I ended up going to jail for about 26 months, I think it was in total. They kept letting me out to go to rehab, but I kept fucking that up, so I had to go back within a day. After I got out of jail, I still relapsed because it's not like they teach us anything. In Belmont County Jail, we sit in a dorm or a cell all day long. And the last time I overdosed, it wasn't the last time I overdosed, it was the first time I overdosed. I was just done with life. I felt like, I was just starting to go back around my son, and my parents were starting to trust me again, and I relapsed. So then I felt like, what a piece of shit. Like, I can't even keep my shit together for my son, for my mom. She was struggling with her own health problems and raising my son. Like, I felt like I couldn't live life. Like, I just sucked. I've always, at that point, I felt like I always just sucked at living life. I didn't know how to breathe. Just breathing was hard. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to be a good person at all. Like, I just felt like I was a terrible fucking human being and I deserved to die. I mean, before I'd overdosed, I'd already tried committing suicide when I was younger. But this time was a lot more intentional, and I did it with drugs. I've overdosed at least that I can remember 6 separate times. The very last time I had overdosed, it was accidental, that one. I was with a really good guy, and I relapsed. No, it was just that one time, and I overdosed, and he came to the hospital room and gave me my ring back. And my parents were, actually my whole family, I do believe, was there in the hospital room. And they pretty much all told me that they were done enabling me and talking to me until I cleaned my act up for a long time. They didn't want a few months, they wanted a few years. And then that made me feel like, oh shit, they don't care about me. They don't care if they talk to me or not. And that just made me feel even more lost. So I kept using off and on for a while, staying with different friends. Didn't really feel comfortable in my own home and my own skin. I don't think I've ever felt comfortable in my own skin until lately. And I ended up going back to jail for a while. And then when I got back out, I think I was finally ready to get clean. I went to several different rehabs, but I was honest with my probation officer about me relapsing that time. And he gave me, I think it was 60 days to find a rehab to go to and to stick it out. Went to the first one. They wanted to severely medicate me on mental health drugs and MATs. I said no. Second one, same thing. He told me the last one that I went to, if I didn't stay, I was going to go to jail and do the rest of the time in jail. That was over my head, which was a year. And at that point, my son was already back in my life. I wasn't doing too bad. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. It's not even like I just recently relapsed or failed a drug test. I just called him and told him that I had relapsed and I wanted actual help. But I had like this inner knowing that the drugs were not going to help me. And I was right about that. Third rehab, they compromised putting me on Zoloft and Lexapro and Subutex. And even after that, and after I got out of rehab on those medications, I still relapsed off and on. I didn't get custody of my oldest son back until he was 4 years old. Or no, 5. 4 or 5. I remember right before I'd given him custody to my mom, I was staying with this guy at his house, and he was away at work, and I had left him home by himself to run to the store. Because I needed a needle for me to shoot up. And I wrecked on the way home because I couldn't wait till I got home. I brought the drugs with me, and I wrecked the truck. It was a nice truck, too. And I wrecked it, and I was so scared because I'd already been gone for over an hour. I called my mom to go get him. And at that point, I was just like, yeah, I'm not fit to raise a child. And again, growing up, I always thought I'd be the worst mom ever because I hated getting up in the morning. I felt like I couldn't even take care of myself, let alone a child. I mean, I'm a good mom now, though, so that's all that matters. I'm sure I'd done more to other people. I know I'd robbed other people. My old best friend, Shelby, I'd robbed her blindly. Sure, I've hurt tons of people. And I just want to let you know, if you're watching this video and I'd hurt you and I did not get to apologize to you, this is my apology. I'm sorry. I am no longer that woman anymore. That is not me. I've grown beyond the diagnoses, the addictions, the labels, the physical ailments, and that is not, it's not who I am. The woman I am today can handle an argument, can handle anything life throws at me, any challenge. I don't look at them as challenges anymore. I rise above them and look at them as opportunities to grow. And I've really changed everything about myself, inwardly and outwardly. And my children are a testimony to that. I'm a testimony that you can heal your addiction, your mental health disorders, your physical ailments holistically. Because I didn't get better until after I got off the medications, off the buprenorphine, the Subutex, which was Subutex, and the Lexapro and the Zoloft. That's when I started to finally change and things started to click. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't activate my own inner organic awareness. So, don't judge, please. Thank you for listening to my story.